Welcome. In this video, we're going to part 1 of our 5th journey into the Warhammer Quest Cursed City. This is a Decapitation Journey of the Fell Guardian. So for our setup, we are going to set it up like we are doing an Escape the Suffocating Gravetide game. For the Discovery deck, we're going to remove all the Crisis cards. We don't do any Warren actions. Basically, all we need to do on this one is flip 10 Exploration cards, and then make an explore action. Then we'll be extracting into part 2, which will be in the next video. So beginning this one, our fear is at 6 and influence at 5. Brought in all our first level characters, so we need to have them first level to be able to be on this mission. We've got Captain Imelda with her new Quick Thinker, rerolled failed gambit rolls for this hero. Brutog, who's indomitable. Before this hero would make an activation roll, they can remove 1 wound or flip a grievous wound down to a wound. And his weapon actions cannot be ignored. Cleona, with her Fated, she can spend up to 3 destiny dice instead of 2, and 1 reaction die each turn is a 6. Then we have Glorio, our other blade. He's also a quick thinker, and his vitality is always going to be the D8, since he was a D6 on both sides. So we've got them set up. The Gravetide is going to pop out when that marker hits the 2. So we have 1 turn basically to get out of here. So go ahead and shuffle up our encounter cards. And then our map tiles, which we'll go ahead and set out 2 because we're going to get 2 maps starting this off. And then our discovery cards. So no crises because we're having a somewhat of a boss battle at the end of this run. So our first location is going to be that one. And we'll set it up like that with our door up there. And our second map, it's another big one. We'll go ahead and move this on down. So entering that way, it's equidistance to go up or to the side. So we'll go towards our box. So that's 2 done. 8 more to go. Our first monster is going to be a Bloodborne. Just eyeing us down. And our next group is 3 Bat Swarms. And we're required to have at least 1 big bat in there. So we can go ahead and get that ready. All right, officially ready to start. So Nightfall step. Quest step, nothing happens for the first round. So activation rolls, once again, just working my way down. So 4, 5, 6, and another 4. One, 4, 6, 6. And for Cleona, 1, 2, 1, 6. And Glorio, 1, 3, 3, 4. Already had this a bit shuffled. Just before I reveal that, need to get our tokens out so we know who is who. All right. So cool, Brutog's going first. Couldn't have planned that any better. Do need to get that though, so we're losing 2s. And a 1, 5, and 6 we have. With the 2 over there, she's going to drop this one out. to gain an inspiration. Sorry, just a little bit out of order there, but doesn't affect the game at all. All right, so Brutog is first. Oh, he's going to move up and say hello. 1, 2. Use a tenderizing blow, and damage cannot be ignored. So tenderizing blow, once per turn, makes a free Marrow Masher weapon action. Reroll failed rolls for this, and the damage is a 3/5 on this. So we're good with doing 5 damage to him. So that's just 5 out of 6. Then he'll just go to a Gut Gouger attack. And that's going to do the final damage, and he's taken out. And then he'll run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, we have Glorio, who's going to take a move and a move. Wait a second. He's going to take a move and a run to get where he needs to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Make a attack on the big bat. And that's a miss. Make another attack on the big bat. Potentially 3 damage. Okay, 1 damage on him. And he'll go ahead and make another attack. And that's potentially 3 damage on the big one again. And that goes through. That's enough to take him out. Got the inspiration roll on him. He took out something with 6, so that's an automatic inspiration. Now, inspiration roll for Glorio. 3 or less. And he's not inspired by what he did. Then we have Cleona. He's going to take 2 regular move actions. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. She'll use her Heaven's Bolt. If this target suffers damage from this attack, it's also stunned. So she'll go after the closer bat. It's still a minimum of 1, so really don't need to, even though it dodged, it's -2 to a minimum. Reduced by 2 to a minimum of 1, so still 1 damage. And stunned. Then she'll do the same thing to the other bat, hopefully. Yep. 1 damage and stunned. Then Bloodborne activates. Bats activate, which stands them up. Then our captain gets to go. So 2 run actions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3. Then we'll make another move action. So we get adjacent to both. Do her death blow ability so she can attack 2 adjacent models. Going after the one on the left first. And missing 1 on the right. And that's going to kill it unless, well, even if it does make the save, it's taking 1 damage. It made the save, still taking 1. They only have 2 health. And then final action, going after the one that's still alive and missing. So see if she was inspired, 2 or less. Nope, rolling high on this. So event phase, see if I can continue rolling high. 7. That's going to move this. Then start of our next turn, it moves again. But he's going to pop out, and since this thing is not that intimidating, Found a miniature for that. It's a bit more scary. So next quest phase, he's going to eat this room. Our destiny phase. One, two, 6, and we lose a couple of 5s. Then for our characters, Captain, 4, 4, 6, and another 6. 4, 4, 6, 6. Leona, 2, 4, 5, 6. And Glorio, 2, 4, 6, and another 6. Nice rolls. Actually, that doesn't happen anymore. So rolling, or checking out our initiative order. There we are. Brutog's good with going first. So he's going to take a run action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spin to 4 to open up the next door we're going to find. So an exploration, taking a 90-degree turn. So I'll move that out of the way. That is centered on that one. And then our next room, move that up to 4. Get rid of that. That is going to be popping up straight there. And close door at that spot. And then our Monster 1 group is the Captain Halgrim and 2 Ulfenwatch. And since there's less than 4 of them, we can have them just be the normal ones. Except they will pop up there. And then group 3. Oops, wrong spot. 4 corpse rats. And we have the blood rat leading the charge there. All right, then he's going to spend some movement on 2. Go against the captain, who has 7 health, using his tenderizing blow. No use for keeping that out at the moment. So straight up 2 damage. Then going Marrow Masher again. Then he'll use a Gut Gouger. So he's got 3 damage on him. He is done. Didn't take out any monsters. So then we have our captain going. He's going to take a move. Oh, she's right next to a bat. Never mind, not moving. She will attack that bat. Four damage, even if it makes the fly-off roll. 2 is all it takes. Now she'll make a move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take another move. Take her attack, going after the captain first, then one of the Ulfenwatch. So on the captain, that does 2 damage. Then the Ulfenwatch wipes him out. So that's 4 wounds for her. 4 less. Nope, not inspired. So Glorio will move 1, 2, 3. And he'll make his Noblesse attack, which is a dual weapon, red and brown. That does 3 damage, taking out the captain. Then he's going to spend a 6 using his duelist ability, lets him make a move and a attack in any order. So 1, 2, attacking up there. This melee weapon, just the red die. And that will wipe that one out. And I'm going to say he moved there instead. It's not going to change the attack that just happened. That way he can spend this to take a look-see and find some liquid courage. Let's see. When it's used, pick this hero or a hero adjacent to it. That hero gains an inspiration point and becomes stunned, then discard this card. So for him, reclaiming the city. Each time a weapon action made by this hero slays the last hostile in a hostile group, he gains an inspiration point. And then he took out 9 health worth of enemies. Rolled a 9, so he gets a second. And that goes away. Now Cleona gets to go. Forgot to spend the 5 earlier. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3. Search. Find some Innocencer. Used during any time during their activation. The hero cannot make weapon actions, cannot be picked by the leader as target of a hostile weapon action until the start of their next activation. So that is gone. Then we'll take a run action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then use our Heaven's Bolt on the first one here. See if we can get that one stunned. Yep. 1 damage and stunned. And retreating a bit. All right, group 2 is done. Group 1 is done. So group 3 is going. And they will be 3. Remove all wound counters from all acting hostiles. Then each hostile makes an advance action. So not wounded. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And stands up. Event phase. That lets us choose someone to recuperate. Got to take damage first, but so I'm good with that wasted roll. Next turn, we move this and move that. Destiny roll. All right, keeping a 1, 3, 5, losing double 4s. And we've got the captain getting 1, 3, 4, and a 6. Four, 5, 6, 6. Two, 5, 5, and a 2. And 1, 3, 5, 6. All right, shuffle up our initiative stack. Rats are going first. Or are they? All right, we're going to use the captain to make a gambit roll. Actually, he's way better. So he gets to re-roll failed gambit rolls. He rolls a d8. So switching positions. Then he will start with shooting. And missing. All right, then he'll use his duelist ability. 1, 2, 3. And missing. Attack again. Come on, dude. And doing 1 damage. Then it's going to move and say, sorry, not feeling good today. All right, next up, Brutog. Going to use a move. Go with the Marrow Masher. Takes that one out. Move. Do his tenderizing blow on the one right next to him for 4 damage. And Marrow Masher on the other one for 2 damage. And he's spinning that to move. Next up, Cleona takes a movement. Shooting there. Need to 4 up. And misses. Shooting there again. And misses. She'll take a reaction. Which for her counts as a 6. Then the captain goes. Moving 3. 1, 2, 3. She'll just attack in front of her. Killing a rat. And before we move on to that, forgot his roll. Let's see, that is 6 damage, which gets doubled for him, so that was an auto inspiration. All right, so she killed that rat. Now she's going to move up and attack the other rat. And that does 4 damage. So she's got 6 to roll with. 6 or less, inspired, not inspired. And then the rats activate by leaving. All right, event phase. 7. Time grows short. Next turn. That moves. He moves. He's out of the way. Roll some destiny dice. Losing the 1s. See if I can remember for Cleona here. So rolling for the captain. 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. Then Brutog. 1 4 4 6. Cleona. No 1s. She has 2 2s, a 3, and a 4. And Glorio. 3 4 4 and 5. I'm going to go ahead and move our map over. All right, with our map done, we get our initiative order, our map moved. All right, so she's going to take a run action. Then open the door. So our first room is going to pop in there. With an open door there. And our next monster is going to be 2 Ulfenwatch. Guarding the door. Then the room behind that, we'll bring in like this. And a closed door there. And that's going to get 2 monster groups. First one is 3 bat swarms. And the next one, 2 Deadwalker zombies. All right, movement. Attack 1 of the guard. Basically, they've got 2 health, so anything kills. And next attack, didn't get it done. She'll try again. And miss. All right, not giving her another chance. See if 2 inspired her. Hope it didn't. All right, next, Cleona goes. She's going to do a run and a walk for 7 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And make a melee attack. Getting rid of that. And she has to be at the door to see in there, so just making a reaction. Then Glorio gets to go. So there's 8. Oops, wrong guy. Where's 8 movement get him? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3 needs another movement. And then he will attack one of the little bats. Doing 1 damage, and their flyaway ability is minimum of 1. And we'll see if he can come in there and do some stuff. So 2 run actions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. He's going to do a tenderizing blow on the boss bat. Gets his reroll. That does 4 damage. See if it flew away from any of that. It did not, so Big Bat is dead. Oh, forgot to roll to see if she was inspired for taking out that one. She was. Then back to Brutog, already in progress, going after the damaged bat. That's going to kill it no matter what it rolls to fly away. And then the healthy bat. Dead unless it was flying. It wasn't. All right, so he took out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, doubled, so auto-inspired. He is now in his inspired mode. The bats are out. These guys are out. So that was 1 and 2. So now group 3. See how they behave. 5, they're just advancing. And Brutog has a better defense, so they'll go after him. They get the D8, so potentially 1 damage. We block it. The second one just flat out missed. So end of the turn, we get an event. Leader gets to pick someone to be inspired. Going to pick Cleona. You know what? She's the easiest one to just flick over. Going to pick Glorio. So he's now inspired. Oh, I forgot to move this 2 spaces earlier. We've got 6. So this moves ahead. He moves ahead. Roll some Destiny dice. All right, we're losing 4s and 3s. Keeping a 5. Then for the captain, 1, 3, 4, and a 6. Then Brutog, 2 3s and 2 1s. Cleona, 3, 4, 5, spinning a 3 to level up. She's now inspired. And Glorio, 2 6s and 2 1s. All right, see what our initiative is going to be now. We are good with that order. So Brutog first, using his Gut Gouger. That's going to do 3 damage, and they have 3 health. Then he'll do the same thing again, hopefully with the same result. Yep. Then he's going to run towards the next door. 1, 2, 3, 4. And open the next door, so I'm going to move my map down. All right, with the map moved down, our next map is going to be this room. And let's see. And yes, my table is warped. Just want to make sure people know that it's not the tiles. Tiles are great and steady and flat. My table, basically I've got 2 tables stacked together and there's a gap between the 2. And that is going to go, we'll take it that direction. This thing doesn't matter anymore, so we'll just move it over. Then our next map, bring it that way. And exit down. Move this up to 8. And bring a spawn point in. And our next monsters. First group is going to be 3 Deadwalker zombies. And the next group is 3 corpse rats. And Brutog is just going to take 1 step backwards. See if the 6 leveled him up. It did, or gave him inspiration at least. All right, next, Cleona. She's going to pass her treasure card over to our leader. That's free to do. And she's going to take a run action. 1, 2, 3, 4. And see what kind of treasure she can find. Curse Catcher. Anytime during their activation when they would be cursed, or to remove a curse token. And move behind Brutog. Glorio's next, spending 2 movements. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then he's going to do his duelist ability, give him a move and an attack. He's going to move to here. And attacking and missing. Then he'll try harder. That's going to do 3 damage. No, 2 damage. Then her leader activates. All right, that's going to give her 7 movement with those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Attack the hurt one. And missing. Trying again. And killing. See if that inspired her at all. 1, 3 or less. Nope, close. All right, enemies attack. Group 1. See what their behavior is going to be. Cocked die. 5, advancing. Glorio's been letting us down, so we're going to let him take both these attacks. D8s. So from the first one, he's fine. The second one, not so fine. See if he defends that. He doesn't. So 2 damage on him. Then the rats jump in. And they Sewer Storm. Remove all wound counters from them. Glad they weren't wounded. Then an advance action with a move of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And stuck at the door waiting to get through. End of turn. Get our event. Time grows short. Next turn, it gets even shorter. He gobbles up another tile. Destiny dice. All right, we're losing 3 3s, keeping a 1 and a 4. Oh, we don't have a single inspiration on her. Come on, Captain. You're going to be demoted soon. So 2 3s and 2 5s. Of course, I could have missed one when she killed 3 of the hostiles on her same turn. So 2 1s and 2 6s for Brutog. Then Cleona, 2 3 5 6. And Glorio only gets 3. 4 4 and a 5. Check out what our initiative is going to be. Group 2, then we jump in. All right, we're going to have him make a gambit roll. That allows him to switch there. Then we're going to have her make a gambit roll. Make sure she gets a re-roll, but she doesn't need it. All right, so our captain's going first. So attacking into those. And that's definitely a cocked die. So that does 2 damage. Then attack the same one again. And that takes care of one. Then attack into the other one for 2 damage. You know what? We'll let her attack again. Too bad you couldn't roll those the first time. So that's 6 damage. She's got her first inspiration of the game. And she's opened up room for more rats to attack. So that one's going after Glorio. He only gets the D6 here and misses. Then that one will also go after Glorio and miss. And, well, I guess before we do that, we need to see what they were doing. Remove all the wounds, make it advance. Yes. So 1, 2, and 3. So Brutog is going to have to do his shoulder barge. Made once per turn, he makes a free run action. Can move adjacent to hostiles without moving, and for that action can move through hostiles, but must end in an empty space. Then pick a hostile that he moves through and roll the red die. If it's successful, hostile is stunned. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See if he stunned the one rat. He didn't. That angers him, so he's going to see if he can marrow mash with a tenderizing blow. That does 3 damage, which kills it. Then Gut Gouger on the one next to him. That does 2 damage, and see if he can kill that one off. Yes. So that's 6 points of damage. See if that inspired him at all. Rolled a 9. And Glorio, he's going to try healing. So his vitality is a miss. Try again. And miss. Then he's going to run since he's useless. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Cleona is going to take off running. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Heaven's Bolt on the rat. Does 1 damage and stuns it. Then Heaven's Bolt again. Two damage on it. Then it's going to move. 1, 2, 3. Looks like I might have went out of order with the monster groups. But that rat is just going to stand up and leave because he's down to 1/3 of the group. He was stunned, that's why he didn't attack. Then event phase. None of our destiny dice will be discarded. So next turn, it's almost nightfall. Not good. This thing's moving over a little bit. Destiny dice we get to keep all of. Kept 3 3s and a 4 and a 5. Then rolling for our characters. Captain 1 3 3 5. Brutog. 1, 2, 3, 5. Cleona. 1, 2, 2, 4. And Glorio. 1, 3, 4. So our initiative. And I'm moving maps again. All right, maps moved. Going to our initiative order. All right, Cleona is going first. I'm moving for 3. 1, 2, 3. Exploring for 4. Before she moved, handing the curse catcher over to Brutog. And then she moves, and now she's going to search. You know what? She hasn't moved yet. Handing this over first, then searching. Yes, found a realm stone. Now moving. 1, 2, 3. Searching. Found a realm stone. Then movement. And exploring. So 2 more map tiles comes out, and that's going to mean once we get through these 2 rooms, we'll go into the room for the boss battle. So our first room, nice 3x3 square. And we really have no options on how that thing sits. And our next room, probably going that way. Then the 2 monster groups. First is going to be a Bloodborne, who's in front of that door. And next is a Gravekeeper and 2 Deadwalker zombies. Which makes sense, this last door is heavily armored. Her ability is she can spend 3 Destiny dice, so she's going to spend her 3rd one to do her Heaven's Bolt ability on him. And then with him, on anyone except Brutog, possibly ignore everything on a 9 up, so did not take damage, and since he didn't take damage, he doesn't get stunned. And then she's going to back up. Then we're going to have Glorio, who needs to run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a shot. And potentially doing some damage. Got a 1, so that was just 2 damage. Oops, looking wrong card. 3 damage. And he's going to try to heal. And that will knock this down 1 notch. Then Brutog says Bloodborne. So he's going to take a run action and then just a regular move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3. Then a tenderizing blow with his 5 because of his upgrade. That just does 2 damage. Then a gut gouger for 3, which will kill him. Yep, 6 wounds. And because he's close enough, 1, 2, 3. And take a hit on the big guy with the marrow masher for 2 damage. And how far should you get around? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 4, 8, 11 movement. And attack on the big one. That does 4 damage, so up to 6. And go back a step, see if he was inspired for killing that guy. Was not. She took her turn, so group 1 activates, which is the Bloodborne. So that is gone. Group 2 activates. Gravekeeper. Call of the Gravekeeper. Hostile and all Deadwalker zombies on the battlefield make an advance action. All right, he's got the best defense, so Gravekeeper on him first. So that is 2d8s. And that's a miss. Then those guys, just 1d8. And the second one. That hits and we defend. And block none of it, so we take 2 damage. And that was his activation. Now for them. They're just attacking. He's going to take both of them again, because he's nice like that. Ooh. We'll do this one at a time. She's going to defend against the next one. Ouch. She blocks 1. Well, that hurt. All right. End of the turn event. Well, Decapitation do not have crisis events, and that's what we rolled, so we'll just pass on that. Next turn, it is now nighttime. This thing moves up again. And nighttime means we're flipping these cards over. Destiny. We're losing our 1s, but keeping a 5 and a 2 and a 3. Then Imelda, our captain, gets 3 dice, 3, 4, and a 6. Then Brutal gets 2. Well, start of his turn before he rolls, he gets to flip 1 over, or heal a regular wound. So he's got a 1 and a 2. And Cleona, 1, 3, 3, and a 2. And Glorio, 3, 5, 6. All right. Shuffle these, see who gets to go first. All right, she is going to take 2 walk actions. Actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that works. Then Heaven's Bolt, the big guy, which will do 2 damage, so it's up to 8. And he's stunned. Then she's going to bolt one of the zombies. And that's going to be 1 damage and stunned. Then she will bolt the other zombie, hopefully. She will try again. All right. Stunned and 1 damage. So next, Brutog. He's going to try to heal. And then he'll try to heal again, which gets rid of 1. And he's going to try to heal again. A whole lot of healing and not much health done. All right, so our leader goes. She's going to use her ability to attack 2 adjacent heroes, one being the boss, first being the boss, second being one of these. So on the boss, misses. Oh, goodness. We're going to re-roll. That will take him out. Then second on that same attack, takes out another one of those. Then attack the one lying down. We'll kill that one, which her ability gets her an inspiration point for that. Then she's going to try to heal. And she's good. And she took out enough to get an auto inspiration. Gets rid of that card. Then Glorio gets to go. He's going to start with trying to heal. He'll try another heal. And then run. 1, 2, 3. All right, end of turn. 1, no destiny dice for the next activation. He inches closer. And each of our characters rolls up. For his turn, he gets to heal a little bit. So 1, 3, 3, 4. Brutog. 2, 4, 6. Fiona. 1, 2, 5, 6. And Glorio. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, see how our order goes. His dice aren't good enough to get our extraction point, so the captain's going to use her ability to swap with him, and he is fine with that. Then she is going to move, make a call for an extraction point, and jump on in. And Cleona. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now he's fine with moving. 1, 2, 3. And Brutog is going to jump in and try some healing twice if needed. So first attempt, he's fine. All right, so that is the end of part 1 of this fight. Part 2 of this will be going up against the Vargskier, who is already in his updated mode. So in between these 2 battles, nothing changes. Everyone does get to make a recuperate action or remove an ailment, but then we're going straight into the next battle. He's done with this, and we'll be starting in nighttime. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.